Howdy. Today I'm sharing clips from a portfolio review with Sophie, a Ukrainian illustrator. Sophie has some serious technical and creative skills. She's been illustrating for 15 years, and it almost seems like she can turn her hand to any style. But that presents its own set of problems because she doesn't really know what to focus on. She's just returned to the Ukraine after 3 or 4 years living in Italy, so understandably wants to make some money. And actually, it's quite refreshing to hear that said out loud as a motivation. A lot of us skirt around that issue, but let's be honest, it is important. So we spoke about some adjustments and additions Sophie could make to her portfolio to make it, hopefully, more appealing to clients quite quickly. Thanks to Sophie for letting me share this. You can follow her at the link in the description. Enjoy.
I wanted to talk about my portfolio.
Sure.
And I'm really worried about it.
My first question is, what do you want to do with illustration?
Oh, my biggest goal in illustration is, of course, to earn from it. Freelancing didn't give me the opportunity to earn enough money to live. So I got a job in an advertising animation studio here in Ukraine. And however, in the future, I would like to have more freedom to build my schedule as it's convenient for me. Ideally, in the future, I would like to create my own books for children, both as an author and as an illustrator. It could be also comics. But for now, I would like to focus on short-term freelance projects or not big book projects for months because of my full-time job, but something small. And when I think about short-term projects, I understand that it's more about book covers, most likely not children's books, magazine illustration or advertising, which is not so much in my portfolio. And of course, I would like to be represented by an illustration agency and have my own agent for this, because I think it will be easier to just draw in and not communicate with the clients because it takes more time.
Okay, that makes sense. The first impression I got was clearly you are a very well-trained artist. I'll just show this page here. You have an artist's eye, definitely. And I think you've done some photography too, is that right?
Yeah.
I think that shows in the way that you present your work. Like it's almost styled like a photographer would style a photo shoot. For example, well, this is a photo, obviously, but I think the way you present your work is really, really great. In terms of that aspect of it, I really don't have any comments. You can create great work. You've got the skills, and you can show it in a way that's nice looking to clients. So if you're feeling unconfident about your work at all, I really don't think you need to worry. I don't. In fact, I wanted to speak to you because I was so impressed by the work. But actually, I'm not sure that I have all that much to tell you, really. I just want to see more. But I did make some notes, so I'll dive into that a little bit here. The work is very charming. Now, this is your like children's page. It's quite traditional, I would say, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of the children's books I see around now are more modern styles. Not that should affect what you're doing, because I think there's definitely room for this kind of work. I suppose when I look through, I see lots of different experiments with art. So, for example, these three are kind of consistent in their theme. They're animal characters, traditional style. This one is more like, it's kind of a different style. It's more realistic. It's not a character. It's more like it really is good. I like it a lot. I'll just go through my list here, and you feel free to ask any questions at any time. The way you present it is very artfully done, but practically speaking, I think it would help if you could show clients how they could use this kind of work. Now, for some of them, You've added some text in here. You've got lovely handwriting. You could see that working for a page in a book. But the rest are kind of composed sketches. If you were to lay them out in a way where it looks like they are pages in a book, I think it would help make your portfolio look more like a children's publishing portfolio. I think with your children's work as well, when you look through a children's book, they'll have lots of different characters, but usually they'll have one main character. And I think it would benefit you to work on drawing the same character in a lot of different environments with different accessories and different poses. Do you have any examples of that kind of thing?
No, and I know that I should do this, but
yeah, again, I think that would help a publisher to see that you can make a character come to life, whatever it's doing. So I see this character, I really like it. I wonder what else this character could be doing, or where it could be going. This is going to be a really good way to help you show how good you are with the characters. So often the portfolios I see will be split up into, they'll have these kinds of drawings where it's a character with some accessories. Maybe there'll also be some pretty basic layouts of like a character sheet. So you'd have the character from the front, you'd have the character from the side, you'd have the character running, or the character sitting down or standing up. You could just pick any one of the characters that you already have and repeat it and show it in doing different things. I think food could be a really good opportunity for you.
Oh, yeah.
So packaging, also publishing, recipe books. When I look at some of your work, and maybe it's the colors you use, but I imagine now if this didn't have insects on the front, I might imagine that this was a cookbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this kind of drawing style, I think it would really suit a recipe book about some kind of like farm style home cooking, maybe baking bread. That would be such a great fit for your style.
I have an example in editorial section. I draw banana bread recipe, and it was not published, but it was in a book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect. That's exactly what I imagined.
It was in PDF book of recipes.
Okay. Well, I think you can think bigger than a PDF book of recipes. This one's nice, although maybe it doesn't have enough color, that's my opinion. Because the point of illustrations in recipe books is to make the food look delicious.
Yeah.
I guess banana bread is not a particularly colorful example, but you could choose a recipe, for whatever you like. I was imagining bread. That's not particularly colorful either, but I'm sure you could find something. You got one human.
Yeah, just one.
And actually, he looks more like an elf, maybe not even human.
Yeah.
Children's books are full of animal characters. That's fine. You got that covered. What I'd like to see more of is more children. I'm no expert on children, but they like animals and things like that. But I feel like they also need to connect with some human characters. So if you were to, let's say, for example, you were to choose this style here, could you draw some human characters in that style?
Yeah, sure. I wanted also to add that I can't say that I'm even half on my way to become an illustrator as a freelance illustrator, because I've been working as an illustrator for a long time, but in the chosen direction that I spoke about earlier, I'm probably in the very beginning. And the problem is that for so many years of study and work, I have mastered many styles and techniques, as you can see. And I think I can draw literally anything, because I feel confident in it, from, I don't know, anime style to paintings and some graphic geometric things.
Yeah.
But because of this, my portfolio looks very fragmented, and it seems that it's all the work from different people. I just don't know what to choose, where I have to concentrate my attention and what I should do more, because I would like to draw characters and children's illustration and this pencil style that very realistic. I understand that it takes time, and I don't have right now so much time.
Do you think it would be useful to kind of think about a list of priorities, what you could do quite quickly to get the most impact?
Yeah.
All right, we'll return to that. I wanted to make a suggestion, and this is, I guess, a way for you to become more popular on social media, for example. Choose some well-known characters. I really like this character here. I like this style a lot. If you were to apply that style to some characters from computer games, for example, or let's say Star Wars.
Like Disney cartoons?
Maybe. Let me think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of specific ones, but this is like a fan art thing, you know. So you couldn't sell these because you don't. Disney owns the rights to everything.
Yeah.
But just for the sake of finding more followers and fans, if you were to draw in this style, one of the robots from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like that would be really, really popular on Instagram, for example. I don't know if you're interested in doing that, but the style I just feel like it would work well. Also, I don't game much, but I did play The Legend of Zelda a little while ago, and there's loads of cute little characters in there. You could find quite an interesting niche audience, I think, of fans.
I understand that it can bring me fans, but can it bring me not customers? Customers, yeah.
It's a good question.
Can it?
It's a good question, and yeah, maybe is the answer. You know, yeah, sure. What does 50,000 Instagram followers mean if none of them are paying you, right?
Yeah. Because I can understand that, for example, I can have a lot of orders for portraits, but it's not what I would like to do.
I'll just recap first. Show publishers how they can use your illustrations. Put them on page layouts, maybe book covers, or just add a little bit of like text. You've got beautiful handwriting, so you might as well use it. Add in some character sheets where you show the same character in different poses. Also put that character in different environments to show that you can work on a main character that can work throughout a whole book. Work on some food, recipes, more of that, because there are so many opportunities for food illustrations, and that covers lots of things. That could be short-term or long-term projects. Could be recipe books. Could be advertising. It could be packaging. Could be editorial. Let's say you worked on 5 new illustrations of food, different kinds of food. Maybe some fruit, maybe bread, some Italian pasta, or something from your home country. Then you've got a great selection of work that you could send to any kind of food magazine, food publisher, food blog. You know, that could be quite a quick way for you to get some attention, I think. Definitely. So in terms of priorities, I would go with that. Oh, and one last thing, more human characters.
Yeah.
So editorial, this work is quite different, and also there's quite a lot of variation in this page too. So when we get to the bottom, this stuff's more like your children's work. This is more like it's more art. It's more like art. I don't know if there's a meaning behind this, but it looks like a piece of art rather than a functional illustration. The digital style, I think some of it works really well. This image here with outside the building, I think that works. I think that could work in a magazine, no problem.
Yeah, it was for magazine, for an article about people who work from different countries but lives in another country. I don't remember this word exactly for.
If I look at this style, it's fine. It's nice. I could imagine it being on a wine bottle, maybe, but it's also kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong.
It was a cover for a magazine about Trieste, and it's Trieste in Italy. It's a city. So
yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess if there's maybe that's why it's boring. No, only because it's just a picture of a city.
Yeah, it could
be a
city,
photograph. Yeah. There's not much going on. If there were more characters or some kind of narrative in it, it would be more interesting. But sure, that's the brief, so that's fine. Again, this also I find not that interesting. This one's more interesting. There's a lot going on here. It tells a story. Good for editorial, definitely. This is an unusual one. This seems like this is an example of, I think, a client hiring you to copy a style. Is that right?
Yeah. It's for the same magazine in Trieste. Also, as an illustration of 7 years.
How come they're all in different styles?
Because I have more freedom there, and I just proposed some illustration for an article. They gave me the name of an article and the text. I read it, and then I gave them my options.
Yeah. So you chose different styles because it was more interesting for you.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good answer. And actually, I like this style, but it doesn't really fit with anything else. If you had a portfolio full of this style, I think you could find work with this style. I think you could find work with the children's style. I think you could find work with this style also. You have a lot of options.
Yeah, and it's awful, I think, for me, because I can't choose. I like to draw, and that's all I know. It's all what I did and still do for all my life. So I just want to have fun, have money for living, and draw.
Okay. Well, in that case, seeing as you can work in multiple styles, and pretty much any of them could make you money as an illustrator. Maybe if you need to make money quickly and you don't have much time, focus on the one where you've got the most examples already. It's always good to work with an illustrator who does have the skills to do other styles. You have the skills to do that, which is a good thing. So you shouldn't hide that. Definitely, that should be the main focus. But to make your portfolio more memorable, I think lean into one of them.
Okay, but I also have a question. So if I have this very different style portfolio, can I apply to an agency? And the question is, will they took me serious? Not just like, oh, she can do this and that, and I'm not sure that she can repeat it, because no one will listen to me about my journey, about my whole life in drawing. So will they take me serious?
Yes. Any agency will look at your work and see a serious, skilled artist, and they will take you seriously. Now, if they were to take you on, they may advise you to narrow down the styles in your portfolio and that's fine. But if your goal at the moment is to make money, get work however you can, then showing a variety is a good thing. Any good agent can see that you're a good artist. So if you worry about them taking you seriously, I really don't think that's a problem at all. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I think all what I wanted, I heard and I understand, because I really worried about these different styles, and I am serious for others. And what to do with my style, and what should I choose. And I heard that, and I agree that maybe it's better to choose this realistic style.
If you can find opportunities to apply that style that you've got on your children's page to other themes that aren't specifically children, that's perfect. Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's hard to imagine it in some scenarios. But you mentioned advertising earlier. If you find the right product, it could work. Well, I'm going to return to the bread example. In the UK, we have a bread company that's been around for, I don't know, 100 years. And they advertise fairly frequently, and their advertisements are generally quite traditional.
Oh.
Because they play on their long history, and they like to like that. Obviously, young kids don't care about that, but older people will. So if you find the right product, you could apply your style to that, I'm sure.
Okay.
So think about the traditional brands.
Yeah. I noticed that right now it's a lot of like flat illustration, more maybe not vector illustration, and very simple, very like clear. And my style is more difficult maybe, and it's not fit.
You're playing a different game to those artists.
Okay.
You're playing in a completely different area, and there are so many different brands in the world. They don't all want flat color, vector, bold styles. Some of them, a lot of them, want more traditional, I guess, traditional skills, because that's what reflects their company values.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What have been the most interesting or useful things we've spoken about today?
For me, about people character, I really needed to hear it. And about my different styles, that it's okay. And if I want to make money, I definitely should to show this to my potential clients.
One more thing on the agents. If you're going to try and get an agent, I think you could. They may want to see more like real life examples with clients. I don't know how many clients you've had, but it's not obvious. But when you apply, and if you're worried about the multiple styles, you can just be honest about that. You don't have to, because an agent will want to know all that and guide you in the way that they think they can use your work the best. So if you just say, I've got 15 years of experience and I can do pretty much anything, and I'm struggling to know which direction to take, just say that. I mean, that's that's a great position for an agent to be in, because they can guide you in whatever direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, it was really good to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Have a nice evening. Bye.
You too. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks again to Sophie, and I'll see you next time.